And now, I shall resurrect Slifer the Sky Dragon!
Oh man, he just brought back an Egyptian god!
Slifer's attack points are determined by the number of cards in my hand. And since I'm holding 4, he now has 4,000 points!
Hey guys, this is Slifer Maniac. Guys, we're entering the final deck profile of this saga. The deck profile of Little Yugi, of Yugi Muto, the real Yugi Muto, not Pharao Atem or Yami Yugi, or a mixture of both, but just the real king of games, Yugi Muto, who, if some of you people might not haven't noticed by now, is a little bit shorter, not so much determined, and a little bit more innocent in his nature than the original Pharao Atem slash Yami Yugi. So this deck profile is called the ceremonial deck profile, because there is the ceremony between Yami Yugi Atem and the little Yugi Muto, where they have to face each other in terms of dueling against each other, as a final task for the Pharaoh spirit to return to the netherworld, to his tomb, to his resting place. And in order to do that, he has to losing, not by purpose, but he has really to lose a duel. And and so his real, or I would reflect, the real Yugi Muto needs to beat him off, because he needs to duel against an opponent. And Little Yugi didn't choose himself, because Seto Kaiba and Joey Wheeler were also very eager to duel the Pharaoh, but he just decided that he has to do it, because they are kind of resembling each other, mirroring each other, and this is the real final task that Yugi has in store for the Pharaoh, or the other way around. And so the strategy is, Little Yugi, they're like hiding from each other, thoughts, even if they're still inheriting one body. They wait for the other one to prepare their decks for the final duel, but the other one stays out of it, so like there's hides in another corner of their mind, so that he doesn't know which strategy or cards he will put out. And Yugi Muto is really having cards. Most of the cards that we witness in this duel on his deck in general are very, very new, because like we do see the Magnet Warriors, for example, in here, but other than that, there are very many, especially monster cards, but also spell and trap cards, which he never utilized in any of his duels. So we can assume that he maybe either didn't have them at all until then, or maybe it was kind of a side deck thing where he just had his cards in a side deck, or in a maybe just sort of collection wise, and then turn them into a deck. Of course, we saw them partly in the Dawn of the Duel arc against Yami Bakura, but other than that, in the arcs before, in the eras before, the sagas before, we did not see them at all. So I suggest to just dive into it. By the way, there were also some cards which were support cards, which just do exist as support cards, but were never meant to be or to be printed as they were in the anime, just for support reasons, like a meta topic deck theme. So they were like based around the Shining Sarcophagus spell card, but I still put, I think, 2 monsters in here just for the sake of it, because they were anime exclusives before, but they exist now with a slightly different effect, but still want to have them in. But not with the spell cards, because they're really too much focused on the mere fact that they have to have this Shining Sarcophagus card in here. I will be also doing in the near future one futuristic Yugi Muto ceremonial GX deck profile, where I will base a deck around the topic that Konami brought out right around the Shining Sarcophagus theme. But yeah, until now I won't do that, because in the ceremonial deck it is playing a role, even a key role, but not so. I wouldn't think it's so essential. It's so essential that it is not the only essential thing in this deck. So we're not basing everything around just one card. The strategy was there were more strategies in this arc, so we just dive into it, and then we discover and unfold together, analyze what we have in here. So first of all, one of the many things that were very unusual for Yugi is you see those gadget monsters in here right about now in the Great Moving Fortress, where one theme is based around, namely the gadget monsters. Starting off, Red Gadget, Earth attribute 4 stars, 1300 attack, 1500 defense, and machine type. When its effect works like that: if this card is normal or special summoned, you can take one yellow gadget from your deck to your hand. Yeah, and there we go. Yellow gadget, also Earth attribute 4 stars, machine type, 1200 attack, 1200 defense. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can choose one green gadget from your deck to your hand. And lastly, of course, we do have the green gadget. Earth attribute 4 stars, machine type, 1400 attack and 600 defense. Yeah, the weakest of those three in terms of defense position, but in terms of attack position is the strongest, clearly. Machine type, of course. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can choose one red gadget from your deck to your hand. So we do have all those three gadgets working with each other in a certain way. And then we do have, of course, like I already called it, the Magna Warriors. So we have to take into consideration that they're all Earth attributes. These ones are machine types, but these ones are rock types. This will also play a key role in the core strategy of this deck, with the Earth, Rock, and Machine theme. Of course, Gamma the Magna Warrior, Earth attribute 4 stars, Rock type, 1500 attack, 1800 defense, so a good defensive mechanism, or let's say stats. Alpha the Magna Warrior, Earth attribute 4 stars, Rock type, 1400 attack and 1700 defense. Now, and well placed first is Alpha, because Alpha better and then Gamma. So that's better. Earth attribute 4 stars, Rock type, 1700 attack and 1600 defense. So in terms of attack stats, this one is the strongest one. And then along with it, of course, Valkyrion, the Magna Warrior. Earth attribute, I think 8 stars, Rock type, 3500 attack, 3850 defense. And its effect works like that. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by offering Alpha, Beta, and Gamma Magnet Warrior from your hand and or your side of the field as a tribute. You can tribute this card and then bring Alpha, Beta, and Gamma the Magnet Warrior from your graveyard, and you can special summon it. So it's also the other way around. You can also bring them then back. So it's very a correlating effect which can help in both ways, of course. Then we had another theme, like I said, the Machine and the Rock team were both there. There were 3 cards he played out, the monster cards. One was called, I think, Blockman. The other one was, I think, called another thing with Blocker or something like that. And the third card was called, I think, Langard, which is a TCG exclusive. So 2 of them, I think. And I exchanged it, so Blockman does really exist in the TCG. And we're starting also off with that. By the way, the Blockman was a tin promo, if I'm not being mistaken. I pulled it back from the tin, or was it the tin, or was it something else? Maybe it was also one of these other specials. I don't know. It was some box, I think. But I pulled it from that and 20 years ago and still have it. Earth attribute 4 stars, a rock type again. 1000 attack, 1500 defense. And this effect works like that. You can offer this card as a tribute, then special summon in a defense position. An amount of block tokens, type rock, attribute earth. Level 4, attack 1000 and defense 1500. So similar stats like that, or even the same ones. Equal to the amount of turns that this card was face up on your side of the field. But those tokens cannot attack, so you can still tribute them. So if you have maybe this face up, and then maybe like, yeah, I have to have, I don't know, still light. I think light swords of revealing light are also in this deck. Then you can also play around that and then tribute those more tokens for another stronger monster, so it's also helping in that very aspect. Blocker. Now we have Machine. Dark attribute 4 stars, Machine type, 850 attack, but 1800 defense. So very strong defense stats. Can of course set it, will come in handy and stall a little bit time with it. Very good defensive posture. And block Golem, which I was like choosing a little bit for Langard as an exchange. Earth attribute 2 stars, rock type again, 1000 attack, 1500 defense. And its effect works like that. If all monsters in your graveyard are Earth, so all of them are Earth, I think, except for the blocker. Earth attributes, you can offer this card as a tribute and then choose 2 rock type monsters with level 4 or lower from your graveyard, except for this one, and then special summon it, but their effects on the field cannot be activated this turn. So still a very strong effect, which you can merely call all of them, bring all of them back onto to the field, use them for tribute or for good defensive stalling mechanism. Then a card which I think is quite handy, to be honest, because its artwork, it doesn't imply that. You think maybe it's a really sweet card like Waterpon, but its effect is very cool, which is Marshmallow. It cannot be destroyed by attacks, and you also lose 1000 life points. If it's, I think, attacked even. Yeah, if it's attacked and face down as a set card. So it's light attribute 2 stars. It's a fairy type, but 300 attack and 500 defense. But like I said, it cannot be destroyed. And if it's attacked face down, then your opponent automatically loses 1000 life points, which still is a lot. If you like maybe in an advanced stage of the game. Then we have Witch of the Black Forest, which I don't think we saw this for a while. I don't even think Yugi played this out at all. I know that Rebecca had this one in her deck, and I might speculate that Johnny Steps had this maybe in his deck. Yeah, but other than that, maybe in the Duel's Kingdom, I'm not sure anymore, but yeah. Since then, we didn't see it. And Yugi decks, I think. Earth attribute 4 stars, spellcaster type, 1100 attack, 1200 defense. If this card is destroyed and from the field to the graveyard, then you can Choose one monster with 1500 defense or fewer from your deck and put him to your hands. Love that card. Very handy. For 20 years ago, I always took that effect in order to bring Jinzo back from the deck to my hands. He was a great searcher because Jinzo has 1500 defense, which still also applies with this effect. Then, like I said, cards which were anime exclusives before were brought out in the what was it called? Legacy of Destruction was last year or 2 years ago even. And so, yeah, I like they were based around that very those themed decks in the meta, but still at this handies with this attack and defense stats that you could help. Silent Magician 0 is the card I was talking about. It's a spellcaster type, light attribute, 1000 attack, 1000 defense. And it's partly even working like in the anime. If your opponent draws a card or cards, increase this card's level by the number of cards that were been drawn. While this card's level is higher than its original level, it gains attack equal to the difference per 500. Yeah, so those two effects were effects that also were, I think, used in the anime. The third one is, of course, based around the Shining Sarcophagus. My god, I can't pronounce anything today. So yeah, we let that out. That's not so important for us. Like this one as well also was a anime exclusive before. The Silent Swordsman 0, level 0. Also a light attribute, but a warrior type. 4 stars, 1000 attack, 1000 defense as well. And its effect works like that. Once per turn during the standby phase, increases this card level by 1. While its card level is higher than the original level, it gains attack equal to the difference by 500. Yeah. And the other one also with working with Shining Sarcophagus. Then, so there is existing the Silent Magician, which also was in a card, which was, I have to just look. Anyways, I have it here somewhere, but yeah, you might also put the Silent Magician in here. But I also put the Silent Swordsman in here. Light attribute 4 stars, warrior type, also 1000 attack, 1000 defense. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your hand by offering as a tribute one warrior type monster, for example, like him, and then cannot be sorry guys, just for add some advertising, and cannot be special summoned in any other way. Once per turn during a standby phase, this card gets 500 attack, and once per turn during the turn of any random player, if a spell card is activated, you can negate the activation of the spell card. And if this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card that the controller of this card possesses is destroyed due to a card effect, you can special summon one Silent Swordsman as a special summon from your deck or your hand, except for this one, and independent from its or ignoring its summoning conditions. So very great effects which are in here: the attack increasing boost, the spell activation, negate activation, negate, and of course the third one is if it's destroyed due to card effect or battle, you can special summon one of these swordsmans, like this one for example. Great. asset to have in here. Then Silent Swordsman level 3. So we do not have any level 2s because in the anime there was level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, level 7, level 8 was I think the last one. Or maybe there was even level 9 and 10, I'm not sure anymore. But yeah, we do have just part of those monster cards, not all, unfortunately. But yeah, like I said, let's just continue with that. Silent Swordsman level 3. Light attribute 3 stars warrior type, 1000 attack as well and 1000 defense. And its effect works also like that. The negate spell card negate effect is in here. That target this one monster as a target. And during the standby phase you can offer this as a tribute and put it to graveyard, and then summon one Silent Swordsman level 5 as a special one from your hand or a deck. And you cannot apply this effect in the very turn that this card is flip summoned or normal summoned. Or summoned at all. So also you can special summon this card with this card's effect, for example. Then we have Silent Magician, level 4. Light attribute 4 stars, spellcaster type, 1000 attack, 1000 defense. And its effect works like that. Each time if this your opponent has draws one or more cards, you can put one spell counter on this card. Max are 5. This card gets 500 attack for each spell counter on this card. During the standby phase of your next turn, after this card has 5 spell counters, you can tribute those 5 spell counters and then special summon one Silent Magician level 8 as a special summon from your deck or your hand. So attacking, increasing ability, and then also the ability to then special summon the Silent Magician level 8. So Silent Swordsman level 5, light attribute 5 stars, and warrior type, 2300 attack and 1000 defense, and its effect works like that. Is unaffected by any spell cards of your opponent. During the next standby phase after this card, put battle damage due to a direct attack. You can tribute this card and put it to graveyard, and then summon one Silent Swordsman level 7 as a special one from your deck or your hand. And then we have a Silent Swordsman level 7. 2000 attack, 1000 defense, and light attribute 7 stars. Warrior type, cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned by the effect of Silent Swordsman level 5, and cannot be special summoned in any other way, and negate all spell cards on the field. So it's not only negating the spell cards of your opponent like Gentleman level 5, but all spell cards in general. And last but not least, from those all those cards, like I said, we also have the Silent Magician as well, and it's somewhere in here. Then we could have completed it. So Silent Magician level 8, 8 stars, spellcaster type, 3500 attack, 1000 defense, and its effect works like that. Cannot be normal summon set, must be special summoned by Silent Magician level 4, and cannot be special summoned by any other ways. This card is unaffected by your opponent's spell effects. Oh, it's a great effect. So like I said, the Silent Magician I have somewhere here, but yeah, you just might imagine that it's here. Then we would have completed the set that we, from those cards that we possess in general. I think there's also the Silent Paladin, but this one, Silent Paladin is a card which didn't exist in the anime, but you could also put in that in order to complete the set. So like we have the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the other one, if you count the Silent Paladin, we have 10. So this is about that. Then he plays out for a long time. The Curse of Dragon, Dark Attribute 5 stars, Dragon type, 2000 attack and 1500 defense. Dragon type, Dark Attribute, like I said, very iconic. We do witness this monster card, like I think since the start of Battle City we didn't see the Summon Skull anymore, guys. Dark Attribute 6 stars, Fiend type 2500 iconic attacks and 1200 iconic defense. So this card is also can also be brought back from your deck with the effect of Witch of the Black Forest, for example. He plays out Buster Blader. Yes, you heard me right. Earth Attribute 7 stars. 7 stars, Warrior type, 2600 iconic attack and 2300 iconic defense. And it's a Warrior type, and its effect works like that, of course. Gains 500 attack for each dragon monster your opponent controls or is in their graveyard. So for decks like Seto Kaiba or any Blue Eyes decks, or also decks from Night Shroud, for example, this card would be really, master designed, you might say. Custom made, you might say. Yeah, great card. Love this artwork. Love also the secret rare effect on the Buster Blader. And last but not least, the most iconic and also a very expensive card nowadays. I think like maybe 30 or 40 bucks. Which also is a card that he played out only in this arc, in this version. Gandora. Why do I say in this version? Because in the Dark Side of Dimensions movie, he does have another version of this card. But yeah, we come to that if we cross that bridge. If I'm done with the Duel arc, and then we get into the Dark Side of Dimensions movie, and then we will talk about also the other version. But anyway, Gandora the Dragon of Destruction. By the way, this is a limited edition from the Jump, so like I said, 30 or 40 bucks on ultra rare. It's Dark Attribute. It's of course 8 stars, Dragon type, 0 attack and 0 defense. Very interesting, but it has a very iconic and very destructive, powerful effect. This card cannot be special summon. You can pay half of your life points to destroy and remove from play all other cards on the field. This card gains 300 attack for each card destroyed this way. Send this card to the graveyard during the end phase of the turn it was summoned. So like if there are many cards on the field, when you play this out and play the effect, then you can turn things around with cards like that. It's very, very strong and iconic after my stance. Yeah, so this is my monster lineup. You might chop it, you might make a copy or make a photo, picture, whatever. Because I will now then remove those monsters, like count up to 5, like always. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So, let's get into the spells. Like I said, I don't know if I mentioned it, but there are 3 anime exclusive spell cards, which I think part of them came out in the TCG, but with other effects, or just comparable, not comparable effects, but maybe just partly the way they were in the anime. And I thought I would let them out because they were too much focused on the Shining Sarcophagus topic. So let's start it off. First, I have the magnetic reverse, or the reverse magnetic, something like that. By the way, this one card I pulled out myself from the Duelists, Legendary Duelists Rivals of the Pharao. I think like 4 or 5 years ago. No, 3 years ago. No, 4 years ago. About maybe 3.5. It's a quick spell card. And it works like that. Choose one monster of a type machine or rock. Well, here we have it again. That is banished or that is in the graveyard, and cannot be normal summoned or set, but special summoned. So like if there is cards that is banished, monster cards from type rock or machine in the graveyard or banished from play. Without having the permission normally to be special summoned. Like I think Valkyrion is one of those, and you can special summon with this card. Pot of Greek. You might tell me in the comments what this card does. No, I'm kidding. Of course, you can draw 2 cards. Source of Revealing Light. I called it. Your opponent has to It cannot attack for 3 turns as well as long as this card remains face up on the field. Gold Sarcophagus, which is the most iconic and key card of this deck, but this one doesn't work like in the anime, because in the anime it was like that. You could take a card from your deck and remove it from play. It also works like that, but you can then take it into your hand. This one, yeah, and then this card is banished. After the second standby phase, you can take it to the hand. But in the anime, it works like that. If your opponent then uses the same card that you used from your that you choose from your deck and remove from play, and your opponent then plays out the very card, the same card, then its effect is negated, but it's not working like that in the TCG, unfortunately. Because it would be great if you had both effects, after my opinion. But anyways, by the way, this is a very iconic artwork, I think. Love that artwork. Because in the anime, this is the very box in which Yugi had the puzzle, and then the puzzle was in there, and then he put them all together, and then he fused with Yami Yugi, or the spirits kind of connected it for the first time. And the truth about all of this is also that it was Solomon Muto, the grandfather of Yugi, who first did find this card in ancient Egypt in one pharaoh's tomb. I think even in one of the pyramids. Yeah, but anyway, let's get on with it. Ties of the Brethren, a card which also was played out in the anime. You have to you pay 2,000 life points and choose one monster with level 4 or fewer that you control. For the rest of the turn, after this card is resolved, you can cannot special summon any monsters. Additionally, you can summon 2 monsters with the same type and the same attribute, so like rock and earth type, for example, and level like the monster but with another name. And the very turn, the monster that has been special summoned from the deck, you cannot conduct any battle phase, but yeah, it had to have a little downside, so we cannot be that much disappointed. Card of Sanctity. Konami, please do the anime effect with 6 cards for each, and if you want do a ban list, then you can of course limit this card to 1, or maybe forbid it, but yeah, bring it out. Errata this card, please, thank you. Monster Reborn, the card which lastly also was a symbolism for the rebirth of the Pharao spirit, and then also was in the very one which Yugi chose with his gold sarcophagus, and then banished it, and the Pharaoh wanted to or did use Monster Reborn in order to bring, I think, back Slifer, and then this card was in the gold sarcophagus, and then he negated the Monster Reborn with this one and this one in combination, and then he was wide open for another attack from, I think, Silent Magician of Little Yugi. Also symbolism, because Silent Magician, like maybe symbolism or metaphor for resting. Then I already called it, we do have at least two anime exclusives. One, ironically, really much looking even in the artwork like the very one from the anime, but we'll come to that. First of all, I have another one, which is called, I think, Supporting Formation. It works like that: choose one face-up monster on the field. It gets 1,500 attack, so attack boost in the engine. We have a similar one in the anime. I don't know with how many attack points it did boost, but it also had an attack boosting engine. So that's why I exchanged it with that. And then there was in the anime, it was called Spell Textbook, and I think this one is called just Spell Book. It's a quick spell card. You can look at the top 3 cards from your deck, and then you can choose a random combination, and then put it back to your deck, and your opponent cannot look at those cards. Yeah, so I think in the anime the spell textbook is working, I think, with Dark Magician, but the Dark Magician girl. But yeah, anyways, we do have this one, so there we go. By the way, a card which I didn't see in a long time, and I think this one is originally in a Magician's Force card as well. But it's handy in nature, and I also would pick it in order to have a Dark Magician deck, maybe even. Marshmallow's Glasses, a card which also does have a retrain, I think, with the Marshmallow with the glasses on this time, which of course works with Marshmallow. It's a permanent spell card. As long as this card and Marshmallow are face up on the field, your opponent cannot choose Marshmallow as an attack target. It wouldn't help anyway because Marshmallow cannot be destroyed. But maybe if it was like in attack position, then it would still lose life points. But yeah, with this card, even that is prevented. Then the third anime exclusive, or even fourth, I'm not sure. I'm sure maybe it was 3 or 4 anime exclusives. But yeah, I made another exchanges. One of them is Symbol of Friendship. It's a TCG exclusive, but I thought it would be appropriate to have a card like this in here. In order to activate this card, you have to draw this card as a normal draw in your draw phase. As long as your opponent has 3 or more monsters controls and you control no monster, you can show this card and then let it until shown to your opponent until your main phase 1. During your main phase of the same turn, you can activate this card, then show this card from your deck and put it to your hand. Yeah, you can not show this card, but then take one card from the deck to your hand. So like, it's really a little bit like Gold Sarcophagus, but not with the banishing effect. So if you draw it normally, and then you show it to your opponent, if he has monsters and you don't have any, then you let it be shown to main phase 1, and then during your main phase, you can activate this card, take one card from your deck, and put it to your hand. So also a very handy effect. Then, if you like, it's a good trump card if you like with the back onto the ropes. Then I choose a spell card which is a typical Dark Side of the Dimension spell card, which is Magical Contract of the Dark Door, or Magical Contract of the Door, sorry, or Door of Magical Contract, and it works like that. Give your opponent one spell card from your hand, and then you can put one dark type or dark attribute monster with level 7 or 8 from the deck to your hand. So we do have just one dark attribute monster with level 7 or 8, which is Gandora, the Dragon of Destruction, which we want to have in our hands very urgently, and then we maybe give our opponent Marshmallow's Glasses, which we do not need, and then we can maybe turn things around. So this is my spell lineup. You might make a copy or a picture or a photo or something like that. And in 5 seconds I will turn this whole shenanigans down, and then we'll get into the trap cards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get into the traps. So what I kind of spoiled about the trap cards is, I think in the anime he had more, he had like 8. You can choose for yourself. Maybe I would recommend to you guys to have maybe a Wabogu, a trap hole in here. But I decided for myself to have like these 5 remaining in here. 4 of them were also showcased in the anime, and one of them pretty much worked like it was in the anime, but has another artwork in the TCG. So yeah, there we go. I think one of the most important ones, by the way, is this one. Stronghold, the Moving Fortress, which he kind of stalled the Egyptian boss monster cards. It's a permanent trap, and it works like that. You might already realized by now that we have the 3 gadgets on it. After the activation, you can special summon this card in defense position. It will be treated as an effect monster with type machine, attribute Earth, level 4, attack 0, but defense 2000. And it is also treated still like a trap card, like with the embodiment of Apophis cards from Odeon. And as long green gadget, red gadget, and yellow gadget all are face up on your side of the field, this card's attack goes up to 3000. So really, this card would be even efficient in a deck which is just based around the theme of gadget monsters, because those cards would be then very powerful. I would maybe then even recommend for you guys to have 3 red, yellow, and green gadgets each in the deck, and then 3 trap cards from those kinds. It could be a very powerful deck, because there also are existing cards. There's the set which is where also are there's a boss monster, gadget boss monster in there, and I think even 2 or 3 which you can play that whole gadget theme. And of course in the Dark Side of Dimensions movie, I can't spoil that much, there's even the golden gadget and the silver gadget, and it also exists in platinum gadget, which is in Link monsters, so we can pretty much play this card or this whole theme in one deck. So first off, then Soul Rope, a card which Yugi/Atem played out in many arcs, like in the Orichalcos or Battle City. This card works like that. You activate it by paying 1000 life points. If your monster that you control is destroyed and brought to the graveyard, then special summon 1 monster with level 4 from your deck to your hand. From the Orichalcos arc, which I saw today, some duels, he played, for example, out in order to combine his Magnet Warriors with each other. Then a card which was just only played out in this duel was Magician's Circle. And it works like that. When a spellcaster type monster declares an attack, each player special summons 1 spellcaster type monster with 2000 attack or less from their deck and attack position. So we have some spellcasters in here. All the level spellcasters, I think, are spellcaster types or attributes. Yeah. I'm even doubting myself. It was this even in this deck. I have just to look up to be sure, because like I'm really much doubting it, because I'm just seeing this card and maybe I just missed it. Maybe this was even a Pharao card, because like the Magician's Circle is of course a card. Maybe I did mix it up, guys, and I have to apologize if it was like that, because maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I have to look it up very fast, because as a preparation I always look at the deck lists of the protagonists or the characters that I'm doing currently, and maybe I just mixed it up, guys. This is pretty much possible, even though I do mistakes or research mistakes, but yeah, I'm not sure about that one. The one of the dual deck. So no, I'm right. So Magician's Circle was really in Lil Yugi's deck, so I was right. Okay. Yeah, like I said, spellcasters are some in here, and all the silent magicians in here are spellcasters, for example, and the Witch of Black Forest as well. But 2000 or less attack, it works pretty much. Yeah, and then we do have another very key essential trap card in here, a card in general, which is Magnet Power, which is responsible for defeating of the 3 Egyptian boss monster cards, turning Slifer's second mouth into his biggest weakness, and then destroying with his effect decreasing ability the other Egyptian boss monster cards, and then eventually himself, because this one in the anime is I think a permanent trap even, but it works like that. Also in the anime, I think. And this turn, all monsters on your side of the field with the base type machine or rock are unaffected by any effects of your opponent, except for their own. So like its lifeless effect could not harm them then. And the last but not least, last card is a Broken Axe, which it wasn't that it wasn't the very name or the same name in the anime, but from the effect, in terms of the effect, Yugi had a card in his deck which worked pretty similar. Also, I think this is also trap card, permanent trap card, continuous trap card, and it works like that. Activate this card by choosing one face-up monster on your side of the field, and during each of your standby phases, it loses 500 attack. If the targeted target or target aim is destroyed, then destroy this card. So like, I think he used it in order to decrease maybe one of the Egyptian boss monsters or maybe another monster card, and yeah, decreasing its attack stats. So this is it. This is my, I think, 41 or 40, or maybe 44, something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 12. Yeah, 41. 41 cards. Yugi Muto ceremonial deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, guys. Show me some love. Show me some love. Show me some love. Stay tuned for more content of this very kind, as we are going up the ranks, one step after another, drawing near to the very end of the Duel Monsters era, because technically this one isn't the end, because like Dark Side of Dimensions also plays kind of in the Duel Monsters era. So in order to really like conclude this whole arc, we need to go through that first, and after that yeah, we get into GX. I don't know how long it will take me to like gather all those preparations on, yeah, collect all those things that I need that are essential for my GX decks to come up, but also the openings that I intend to do. Yeah, I will also after the Dark Side of Dimensions arc or deck profiles and openings, I will be, like I said, already spoiled it, and yeah, can tell it and reveal it to you guys right now. I will be having a, from myself, of my stance, produced and made Yugi Ultimate Deck Profile, Assetto Kaiba Ultimate Deck Profile, and Joey Wheeler Ultimate Deck Profile. So the best, after my opinion, a combination of cards which they had to have in order to give it the best playability. I will be having also on this channel, and then after that we get right into GX. So I have to stall also, of course, a little bit more time until we get there. But anyways, like always, I wish all of you guys a good morning, a good midday, good afternoon, good evening, good night, whenever and wherever you might witness this one. This is me, your Slifer Maniac, and then at least, of course, at the very closing of this video, I give a big peace.